What's up, y'all? It's your girl Fallon coming with another episode of the Baby Mama Chronicles. Thank you so much for tapping in. I really appreciate y'all as always. Subscribe, make sure y'all tap the notification bell. I want y'all to stay tapped in with every single thing that I'm doing. I have all kind of new concepts, topics, and things that I'm going to be rolling out, and I want to make sure you guys hear it first. So, self-care, that is the topic of today. And I just want to kind of take advantage of the time that we have. We're in quarantine, most of us. I'm in Los Angeles, and according to the government, there's no telling when we might be, left off house arrest. So I think that it's important that we take advantage of this time, make the most of our time. And, I just put a couple of tips together that I think are really going to be able to help us maximize the potential that we have being at home based 24/7. The first thing that I came up with is our food. Most of the times when we're working, a lot of us are not meal prepping and bringing our lunch. We're eating out all the time, or maybe we're binging on coffee in the morning. Okay, I'm talking to self. It's getting a lot better, trust me. Sometimes we're binging on coffee and not eating until 1 o'clock in the afternoon, then maybe eating like this super big lunch that's really not that healthy, but we're starving, so we're just eating something that's available. It could be fast food, it could be something that's just super rich with all kind of fats that are not healthy. We get home and we put something together. I'm just saying, now that we have this time, let's be more conscious of what it is that we're putting into our bodies. We're at home, which means that we can cook a lot more than we used to. Let's start figuring out what foods work best for our bodies. I want you guys to know also, there are allergy tests that you can take at the doctor where, you can kind of see what food sensitivities that you have. Each of us are different, so diets are not one size fits all. I know there's a lot of different things. I mean, you have vegans, vegetarians, pescatarian, which I am. All of these different variations of ways to eat. And a lot of times, there's still things that slip through the cracks that you may be allergic to, that may be affecting the way that your body functions and runs, but you just don't know because you haven't had that allergy test. I haven't gotten one. It's something that I do want to do. Just to see and, to make better choices, to make sure that the food that I'm consuming is really helping me. Be intentional with everything that you do, including the stuff that you put into your body. It's super, super important. There's all kind of recipes, different things that you could be trying out, and it's not a thing too either where people might try to make you feel bad about eating meat. Try to do grass-fed, try to do organic. Try to only eat it maybe once a week instead of every day, maybe twice a week opposed to every day. Just make those modifications, and it does take discipline. I will say to you, it does take discipline to clean up your eating. I did a detox at the very beginning of this whole quarantine where for 10 days only ate fruits, nuts, vegetables, and eggs. You can eat like hard-boiled eggs. That's it. And I had to do it for 10 days straight. Do not ask me how I did it, but I made it through somehow, some way. And, more so than it doing something for my body, which it definitely did, a lot of flushing, because within the smoothies or whatever, you have a lot of fiber and, things that are going to kind of push those toxins out of your body. I just felt like the ish because I was able to do something with such discipline. And discipline is so important. You need that to materialize the things that you really want in your heart and the visions that you have in your mind. So just allow this time to be, that downtime where you can really have that positive relationship with your food and try to make better choices with your food, okay? Eating well is also going to affect what? Your skin, your hair, your nails, the whole thing, right? And I think we should be spending more time too, as far as our self-care, on our skin. I have a really good sister friend. Her name is Nay, and she is a lash technician and a esthetician. And we've had all kind of conversations just about skin. She loves talking to me just about skin and the type of skin things that she sees when people are coming in, extractions and stuff that you have to do from your face for so many years of people neglecting their skin. Skin is the biggest organ on our body. We really only pay attention to our face. We have to start really paying attention to the whole thing. But I think primarily in this conversation, I'm talking about the face on your skin. A lot of times too, ladies, we are so consumed with makeup and we want to cover our whole faces with makeup, and but underneath we're not really doing any care. We used to sleep with makeup. Oh my God, I used to sleep with my makeup on. I would never now, you know, more so because my skin has changed. A lot of times you will notice that, ladies, as you get older, the conditioning of your skin changes. I've had flawless skin pretty much my entire life. As I've gotten older, I noticed that, as you can see, I don't have any makeup on now. Sometimes I just get very red and I get very flushed. So that sometimes also causes breakouts, irritations. If I'm working out, sometimes I can get very flushed as well. You know, and then these masks that we're wearing every single day are not happening. I hope you guys are doing your best to safe practice with washing your mask. If you have the disposable kind, make sure that you're replenishing those regularly to make sure that you're not, you know, affecting your face with all of that bacteria. But we have to start developing regimens for our skin. And on the, you know, in the land of YouTube, obviously there are so many different options and skincare girls that will tell you and teach you how to take care of your skin. Figure out what skin type you have and come up with a regimen. Buy the products, the facial washes, moisturizers, sunscreens. Another thing, sometimes ladies, women of color, we don't wear our sunscreen and we should be wearing it. I don't wear mine either. I am working on that. But again, eating healthy is actually going to just be, our skin is going to be a byproduct of that. So it kind of all taps in. And I think that also affects the way that our hair looks as well. And that kind of goes into the next thing, which is hair care. This is a great time, ladies. Again, we're not out and about, you know, doing this, that, and the third. You know, we have more time at home. Give our hair a rest. Let's give it a rest. I've straightened my hair yesterday. Prior to this, I hadn't straightened it for like 3 weeks. I haven't had any weaves this year. I'm kind of like on a sabbatical and detox from that also. And not to say that I probably will have one before the end of the year. So it's not to, you know, talk about or shade the ladies that wear wigs, weaves, any kind of fake hair, perms, straight, curly. I don't care about that. But we have to, everything is great in moderation, right? Or good in moderation, but we have to sometimes take a break. And sometimes, ladies, we don't. And because we don't, that strain over and over and over, you know, it damages our hair follicles, our edges. I know for me, because, you know, I have leave out when I wear my weaves and stuff like that, the hair that I have right around my leave out is shorter than the rest of my hair, which is annoying. But it's because I hadn't given myself, you know, that break. You have to give yourself a break. You have to, you know what I'm saying, kind of just let your hair do its thing or whatever and kind of regain its strength. Use this time to do a lot of deep conditioning treatments, keratin treatments, hot oil treatments, no heat. Maybe try to do the heat like I was, you know, I did the heat once in 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying? I think that's super important as well. And that's self-care, you know what I mean? That's taking care of yourself. Any woman that's lost her hair, well, I'm sure tell you, make sure that you're taking care of your hair and cherish it. You know what I'm saying? Don't take it for granted either. You know, make sure that you really appreciate the hair that you have in your head. This is our crown, ladies. Hello. Fitness, right? I have on my little fitness thing. I'm faking and shaking and capping up with this on right now because I have not worked out at all today. And you know she's not working out with this. I'm not going to be starting to work out again until next week. I took a little bit of a break, maybe like a couple weeks, maybe like a week or two break. Mother's Day was super busy for me. I do flower arranging. So I was super busy over Mother's Day. But develop a fitness regimen that works for you. Much like the food that I was discussing as far as just like diet and things like that, you have to find something that's going to work for you. If you're not the outdoorsy girl where you want to be out hiking, running, walking through lakes and getting your feet wet and that kind of like outdoorsy stuff, you don't have to forcibly put yourself in those situations. Get in the backyard, get a jump rope, get out there for 20 or 30 minutes and get it in. If you don't got the jump rope, do it old school, get you an extension cord, get out there 20, 30 minutes just to build your heart rate. It's for your heart health, right? Or even if you're running laps around the block, even if you're, you know, walking the dog or taking a walk with the kids, all of that stuff is just going to help you stay active, and it does affect your mental and physical health. And it's just really to your benefit to make sure that you're staying active and keeping that heart rate up. to keep your ticker healthy. If you are super ambitious and you have goals of wanting to, you know, resculpt or modify your body, which I'm going to have a separate video on that later down the line, just about health and fitness and, you know, getting your body the way that you want to get it naturally. I'm working on that, and hopefully you guys will take that ride with me and we can kind of go on that journey together. But if you are super ambitious, find programs that are going to, there's like 30-day challenges and things that they have where you can kind of have a sense of community where other people are going through the challenge and doing this challenge at the same time. That way you're able to kind of hold each other accountable and see your results. You know what I'm saying? I think that that's super dope. And usually most of those programs are free. Just go on Instagram or, you know, YouTube or something like that, and you definitely can find what you need as far as that's concerned. But stay active. Even if it's just 20-30 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day, something is better than nothing. Don't let nobody tell you that either. If you take a quick little walk, if you park a little bit further away from the store that you're going to so you have more of a distance to walk, if you're taking the stairs opposed to the elevator, all of those things add up. So some activity is better than none. Just make sure to stay active. Okay, you guys, so here we go. This is one of the big things, the big ones. I feel like social media detox would be great right now. That is a great form of self-care. How many of you would really be able to do a social media detox? How many of you would really be able to do a social media detox? You know, let's just be honest. You know, most of us are addicted to social media, not just our phones, but social media specifically, where you wake up in the morning, you've been asleep for 8 hours, you roll over, and the first thing you do is grab your phone. Instagram, and you're on Twitter, you're on all of these different, you know, social media networks. And is it really serving you? You know, if you're rolling out of your bed, it's like grand rising and you are at one with the earth. You are in your conscious space, and you know, you're trying to get yourself together mentally for what the day is going to bring to you, kind of reflecting on whatever may have happened the day before, making preparations to kind of detox and let those things go. And you, the first thing you're doing is rolling over and scrolling on social media. I don't know if that's the healthiest thing. I don't know if that's the best way to care for yourself. And then you're talking about doing it from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed throughout the day. You at work, you with your kids, you at the dinner table, all the way up until you go to bed at night. Ladies, and gents, I would detox from social media during this quarantine just a little bit. If you're not able to completely just cut it off for a little while, where you like delete it from your phone or you're not tapping in at all, maybe you have business, or you know, you're not able to completely just exit out, limit your use and discipline and have discipline and monitor yourself, right? Maybe only count the time, maybe only spend like an hour or something like that on social media throughout the day. You know, you're tapping in, you're seeing what's going on, seeing if you have any messages about some business or how you're gonna make some money, and let it go. Because not only is it a rabbit hole and you just start going from one place to another, to another, to another, it is not the best form of self-care to be in an environment where there are a lot of falsehoods being presented every day. That has a negative effect, I think, on your mindset, especially if you're trying to accomplish something, especially if you're trying to elevate your sense of self and confidence. And, you know, then you start comparing yourself and, you know, to other people's, you know, perceived wins and success. It's just not always the best policy to be completely consumed within that social media space. You have to really have the discipline to be able to take yourself out of that sometime and cut that off. And this is the perfect time, I think, again, to kind of just use the time to kind of just block out the noise and kind of just really take care of yourself for real. It's cliche and everybody wants to say that that's what they're doing, but is that really what we're doing? Take that time to yourself to really cut out the noise. I think it's really, really important, honestly. And one of the last things, you guys, is I have reading. Some people don't like to read. that's just what it is. Some people don't like to read, and I'm not a everyday reader. I don't read every single day, but I love to read, especially if I have something that's of interest. Two of the books that I'm reading right now, I have the Sacred Woman, Queen Afua book here. If you guys know Queen Afua, she actually did a Mother's Day special on Instagram with Lauren London, Erykah Badu, and I think her daughter, where she kind of just gave us some additional tools and tips for self-care. I would go back online and try to see if you can find that, because of course we're talking about a woman, a queen, a sacred woman, vibrating on such a high level that she's able to kind of give us these tools and work with us to kind of help us elevate and take us to the next level. I would definitely also purchase this book if you can. Especially our Black women, I think it's super important for us to have this book. She talks about rituals and spiritual practices and things that you can do to become more at one with yourself. A lot of it does require discipline. I haven't taken the journey in the way that she has it specified here. Like a full 21 days of, waking up between the hours of 4 a.m. and 6 a.m. and letting that kind of be your time of peace and solace and reconnecting with your body, your heart, mind, and soul. There's some really disciplined practices that this book kind of requires. And if you're game, especially again now during this time of quarantine, this would really be a good time to implement some of the things that she's talking about in here. So I'm reading that, and then I'm also reading this book here, Own Your Everyday. This one is by Jordan Lee Dooley. I'm almost finished with this one. It's really good, and the basis of this book to me is kind of like worry about your own timing. Stop the comparison about what everybody else is doing when everybody else is reaching their finish lines. Focus on you, focus on your path and your stuff, your ish, you know what I'm saying? Really good book. I can't wait to finish it. I'll probably give some more context on that once I finish reading it, but do some things, read some things that are going to uplift you and give you a different perspective about life. You know what I mean? Out of all of these books, I don't know what the scientific ratios are. There are studies that show how much we retain from texts and stuff that we read. Even if it's only one little lesson that we get out of this really thick book, that one little lesson can be the lesson that we need to push us over the edge into the biggest year of our lives, success-wise. This book also talks about fertility too, and making sure that we are taking care of our wombs, real self-care, but yeah, we could be, that one lesson could be the thing to push us right over the edge to take us to that next level and get us in the mindset that we need to be in order to be our most successful and our our highest selves on a vibrational level. So take some time to do that. They have Kindle, they have iBooks and all that stuff. So yeah, read a little bit. I think that'll definitely help. All right, you guys, that's it. I just wanted to tap in with you guys and give you guys just a little bit of something during this quarantine period. Let's take care of ourselves. Let's take care of each other as we're taking care of our children. Make sure that we're spending our time pouring into ourselves and taking care of ourselves as well, okay? Again, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and press that subscribe button, notification bell, the whole nine. I appreciate you guys, and I will see you next time.